We have with us today John Hallman, who's with Cut Property Taxes, now out of Boca Raton. Good morning, Mr. Hallman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Council members, appreciate the time. I want to talk specifically why your concerns about tax revenue being cut to cities, counties, and even to the state for that matter, why we need this 1.35 cap if we are to survive as a state. We know there are certain problems going on in our economy. For the first time in modern history, the tax revenue in this state, as you're dealing with the budget, is projected to be less than the year before for 2 years in a row. Florida documented in 2007 we were the second highest in foreclosures. Florida population is increasing at the slowest pace in 30 years, which is putting a damper on economic growth. This slowdown is going to affect every factor of our economy, and our state and local taxes will go down. People can simply vote with their feet. They can take their dollars and their feet and move to Tennessee. I saw a real estate sign on the corner the other day. Instead of saying local home for sale, it said come to Tennessee. Those are the real estate signs I'm seeing. People are leaving. The facts are there. This is reality. This isn't hypothetical. It is happening. Our revenues are going to continue to drop in the state of Florida, and our local and state economies are going to hurt, and people will hurt from this. We need this infusion into the economy. This $5.9 billion will be infused into the economy. This will enable people to afford homes. The real estate market will pick up, and revenues to the government will become more stable. But the people, the second homeowners, snowbirds, investment property owners, commercial property owners, these are people who are crucial to our economy who have been left out of this equation of property tax reform. They are demanding help. And so this will create stability for them to come back and start buying homes, businesses, bring jobs back to Florida, and have economic growth so that we can have the stable revenues that government, local, and state need. Thank you.
Representative Gibbons has a question.
Do you know where we rate as a state in comparison to total taxes, not just property tax, but income tax, sales tax, etc.? Do you know where we stand in comparison to Tennessee, North Carolina?
I have seen that, Representative. We have, 2 years ago, we were a tax-friendly state. Very much so. We were a very low tax state, no income tax. But the tax burden on those non-homestead property owners, which are crucial to our economy, that has changed, as you know. They have seen their property taxes skyrocket beyond belief, and so they don't feel that idea that we are a tax-friendly state, and they're leaving. The population is dwindling, so they don't consider this a tax-friendly state, and they are important to our economy.
Follow up. My question is, do you know where we stand in comparison to Georgia, North Carolina, states like that, where that you say people are leaving, going to those states? When you look at the total tax burden of those states versus ours, where do we stand in comparison to them? Are we better or worse? You know, if you move to North Carolina, would you be paying more in tax totally than you pay in Florida, or would you be paying less in tax totally in North Carolina or Georgia than you pay in Florida?
Representative, with all due respect, I can only give you reality is that people are leaving. Now, if the economic data that's done shows that Florida is a more tax-friendly state, I'm disrespectfully telling you that they don't feel this. They are leaving. They can buy a home in Tennessee, more square footage for the dollar, and the property taxes are considerably lower. And you can just see it, that the fact is Tennessee is growing economically. So they are leaving. So these people are hurting. So they don't, again, Representative, all due respect, they don't care about what the national statistics say about Florida being a tax-friendly state, because they're feeling the pain. Personally, they're feeling the pain. And so I have landlords that are having to foreclose because they cannot raise the rent high enough. The property values have gone down, the property taxes have gone up, and they have nothing to do, and they can't sell it. There is 3 years of inventory on the market. They can't sell it, so they're having to be foreclosed on. This is something that is going to be dangerous to our economy and to the people who depend on government services.
Representative Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My question has to do with your comment about foreclosures. And I know foreclosures foreclosures contribute to our homeless population and increases the populations in our jails and hospitals, the demand for family services. What other kinds of implications are there for services in other areas that are required when there are foreclosures, and there are going to be more foreclosures with a measure like this?
Right, correct. This will only cap revenue collected on property. So this does not speak to any other form, as the chairman spoke to, other things that can be raised. That could be an argument for another day, whether that should happen or not. But it does give, this only caps property taxes because we know people are losing their homes. And so we want to bring back stability and predictability for people to be able to own a home again here in Florida. It doesn't mean, so it would cap the revenue from property taxes, not from any other source. So if a city or county needs to raise money, they can do that.
Thank you.
Representative Urbano?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. John, when I look at this, I think that this, well, we know already what's happening. The citizens around the state of Florida collecting signatures, and now that the realtors, Florida Association of Realtors, are now engaged in trying to find additional reform. I know they are embracing this 1.35. But just for the sake of this board listening to what else is going on, I know you're privy to another group out there that started their own, another petition signature gathering process, which I believe is not good enough for Florida.
Not good enough Florida.
Not good enough Florida. And that group wants to abolish all ad valorem taxes. Is that not correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay.
They have, when they started this, they had an immediate 25,000 people sign up as far as wanting to know about how to do this. How about that they want to abolish ad valorem taxes.
So let me put it to you this way. Ideas like this that are already 200,000 plus signatures ahead of the game, if we embrace these things and give people the needed additional, property tax relief, call it perception, I call it reality. They are leaving by the groves in the state of Florida, but we're not going to go and beat a dead horse with that issue. Don't you think that will, if we embrace things like this, it will prevent 20 new citizen groups to pop up, coming up with their own ideas for petitions,
yes,
and taking it to the ballot, and then we're not going to have any say at all when it comes to this stuff. Is that not your understanding?
And if you know the people are angry out there, and those that have done the town hall meetings have heard from the people, they can't bear the price anymore. Non-homesteaded property owners cannot afford to pay it anymore. So they're either going to leave, foreclose, drop out, and people are clamoring for something real. This does not speak to any other type of revenue. This says it will cap property tax revenue. Doesn't mean that the Florida legislature may need to look at alternative sources of revenue to supplement that so that cities and counties are not constrained or hurt or services are cut. But we have to do something with homes, with property. The commercial properties providing jobs. There is no doubt that our unemployment rate is going up. So we see these danger signs, and I believe, and hundreds of thousands of citizens across Florida believe, that this will at least bring some stability and predictability to the property tax system and bring some equity and fairness to it, so that we can survive as a state. And that doesn't mean we cannot look to other alternative sources of revenue.
I'll save my comments.
All right, thank you. Any other questions?